How much comfort does it give you knowing you can rely on him to have the ball late in a tight game to make the shot that he needs to make?
Yeah, it means you're a really good team. I mean, you have multiple guys. You know, Michael can make a shot in a big moment. CB's shown that he can do it in these playoffs. So, yeah, it's the great teams. You know, there's a lot of heroes, you know, when you win playoff games. It's not just your main people all the time. You know, I made this comparison, you know, the Kobe Shaq thing. Just, you know, I saw that team beat a lot of the teams that I followed. And a lot of times it was Horry, Fisher, Fox that won those games. It was Shannon Brown making a big play. It was Sasha making 2 free throws in Game 7 we hadn't played. You know, there's all these little things that and guys have to be ready. I saw Jamal's quote about how Aaron, you know, has prepared for these things by his preparation. And I think that's the quote you should go with because that's just the absolute truth. Hard work in the off season, hard work on off days leads to big-time moments for people. So that was very deserving, one of our best players.
When Ed Gordon has moments like that, given all he's been through last year, is it almost extra special? I mean, as coaches, I don't want to say rude, but you're a happy for him.
Yes, it is extra special. I'm not going to get into the personal part of it because that's, you know, his thing. But for me, somebody that cares about him and the year he's been through, you know, it doesn't mean you're going to have moments like that, but it sure is cool in life when you see stuff like that happen. You know, and to have his family here celebrating it with him and all those things. So obviously he can speak on the emotions of that. But, yeah, for someone I care about, it's pretty cool to see. And, my God, multiple moments in the last 2 weeks. Just crazy.
Is this team improving pretty rapidly right now, in your opinion? If so, to what extent and in what ways? Do the playoffs always force teams to become better? And, where are you seeing it?
I want to say yes. And then after Game 1 and what happened in Game 2, there was no improvement there. But I would say I think mentally we've improved through the playoffs. You know, having the ups and downs, the way the Clipper series flowed, that you had to keep kind of bouncing back. And the only way you do that is just staying together. I know I keep saying that, and it sounds cheesy. It's really not. You know, even the game we won when Aaron gets the dunk at the buzzer, it had been very easy to focus on that game and say, yeah, but we blew it in the fourth quarter. It was just, let's move on to the next game. Just move on to the next game and learn from it. And today was no different. Like, fun win last night. You know, great win mentally, all those things, but a lot to correct. And the guys have been so easy to talk to on off days, film sessions, and I think that's where the improvements come. Because your play is going to be up and down. You're playing the best teams in the world. And so you're not going to always play at the standard you want to, and some of that has to do with them. But what you can do is be honest with each other and try to improve each day mentally so the next challenge, when it comes, you're prepared for it. So I think that's where I've seen the improvement.
What did you guys do? In Game 2, you guys really had trouble getting into an offense.
Yeah.
It was a lot better, a lot cleaner process.
Yep.
Last night. What did you guys do to mitigate some of that on-ball pressure?
I think we had to have more initiators. You know, I think Jamal trying to bring it up against Dort for 40 minutes is not going to work. That's where Aaron's really special. I thought Christian handled pressure well, got us into stuff. You know, Russ obviously did a really good job last night orchestrating for the second unit. And so if you have multiple people that can get you into something organized, that's going to lead to shots to the rim. And it sounds dumb. Like, early in the game, I think I said it last night. This has been a whirlwind, but we didn't make shots early, but we only had one turnover. And we didn't get overwhelmed early, and that's what they do. You can't end that first quarter with 6 turnovers for 13 points, or you're going to look up and it's going to be 44-20. The second quarter, we didn't take care of it, but I thought the shots started to fall more and more and more, and they fell because we were organized. With that being said, there was a lot we can improve on. We watched a lot of spacing clips today. They're a great defense. I said that last night. It's a great paint defense. We have to take what's there and avoid the mistakes where you're trying to do something you've done throughout the season. It's not going to work against this team. They're too good. So we're trying to master spacing as best we can to try to get another one in the series.
James, after looking at film, what do you feel like you guys can do better against Jalen?
He's really good. I actually thought some of the shots he made were really well contested. Effort plays. Thought we could shrink better, you know, bring secondary bodies to him like we did to Shea. But he's an all-star for a reason. A couple of times we had coverage breakdowns too, where the guy's just on a heater and we're down the floor switching and he just walks into a 3. Like, that stuff can't happen. So attention to detail always matters with players like that. And on the flip side, he's really good. So we'll do our best to try to bring, extra bodies, not necessarily hit him or double him, but more attention to him. But it's tough when they got those two guys out there together. There's always so much you can do before you start losing what you should be doing with the other guy. So like we did last night, we'll have to mix it up, show them different looks, and do our best to contest and make things as hard as possible for him and obviously for Shea.
It hasn't ended up mattering either time, but you've lost your challenge before the fourth quarter and both of your guys' wins. Just curious, as you've kind of taken over, having the final say on those, what your philosophies kind of on when you want to be selected with those challenges.
Well, I asked Dan last night, Sheminsky, best trainer in the NBA, and I said, is our mandatory or not? And it was, and I'll be honest, I was going to call an early timeout in the third quarter regardless, because I just felt like, we're playing guys a lot of minutes, and I had to use the timeouts for rest. The challenge was not a good challenge. The guys in the court, of course, thought it was. But I don't know if we got to the 7-minute mark. I felt like they had more juice than we did the first 4 minutes. I would have loved to have the challenge at the end of the game, not saying I wouldn't have. But with the mandatory, with the situation, with the guys, their reaction, you have to trust sometimes. Our guys behind the bench kind of looked at it at 50-50. So bad challenge, good timeout for rest. So I guess positive and negative at the same time. Man, he moved his feet. He was physical at the point of the pick. They were bringing him up. I thought when he switched onto the ball, he was super aggressive. There was a play, I believe it was overtime, where Dort was initiating offense, and he just got into him at half court and kind of blew up the play. So they had to start their offense almost at the logo with Shea, which allows you to shrink behind it, have an idea of what you want to do, and scramble. I just felt like his physicality and the way he moved his feet, on top of the fact the amount of 50-50 balls he got after playing great defense where they're crashing the paint, and here he comes through the elbows, through the nail, and comes up with that 50-50. I mean, that's how you win those games. It's tough. There's a lot of times the ball's bouncing around. Whoever picks it up wins the game. And he did that late, as opposed to throughout the game. I thought they beat us to a lot of balls.
You guys still have the core of your championship years from a couple years ago. How do you think that experience has been a factor in these games that have been down the wire a couple of years?
I think it's huge. I mean, especially in close games. I said it last night. Even in losses in the past, there's something to learn from. When you played this many big games, playoff games, game sevens, lost a game at home with 7, won games you had to win on the road to keep the series going. You can draw on those experiences, and I really mean it. I think the more of these that you play, there's something to go back to in your mind that we've played a game like this before. Whether it was in San Antonio 8 years ago or in Portland in a 4 overtime game. Like we have played in just monumental playoff games. And so when you have that experience, I think you're a little calmer. You can react properly. When they go on a run, an 8-2 run, you have to call a timeout for them to go in the fourth quarter. People know what to say to each other in a quick moment. When it's a minute 10 timeout. All that stuff matters. It all collects itself and allows you to at least give yourself a chance to win really tough games like last night.
Building off of that, you're playing a team that hasn't faced a lot of adversity this year. They're so young, they don't have that championship experience. When they're facing adversity like they are now, down 2-1, how dangerous can they be, or do you try and take advantage of that inexperience and hope that they kind of crumble and collapse?
Yeah, I'll be honest. We were young once, and we handled it pretty well, and they do too. That's why they've won so many games. And the reason why they haven't played a lot of close games is they have completely blown the doors off people the whole season. And if I was coaching a team, I would rather do that than play 55 4-point games. So, yes, the experience helps. But the scary part is the more experience they get in those games, the better they're going to be at them, just like we were with Nicole and Jamal all those years ago. And I always say that was the most surprising thing about the first-round series we ever played here against San Antonio and then Portland in the second round was how comfortable those two guys were at the end of the game. Immediately. There was no like, oh, they're learning how to play in these games. No, they were ready to go. And I see that in those two guys over there. So we know what the challenge is. But obviously, yeah, you can draw on experience. Unfortunately, they're getting experience as well.
That being said, and I know as a coach, you want to get the 4 no matter what.
I'll take 3 first. Yeah.
Or you want to get the 3, and then if you get the 3, you want to get the 4.
Right.
What?
but is this a better road to get to 3, playing from ahead in the series instead of playing from behind in the series, so to speak?
I think so. I mean, obviously, the closer you are to a number, the better. And having it at home, that's why that game 1, finding a way to win that was so huge. But as I say that, it means nothing until we go play tomorrow. And opportunities are what they are. The opportunity that's in front of you, that's in the present, is all that matters. And if we have a chance tomorrow, obviously, to win a 3rd game in the series. So we have to take a professional approach to that, know what the challenge is going to be. And, yeah, playing from ahead is good. And obviously with us, with the minutes that we're playing, it's good to be ahead in this series. But, again, it means absolutely nothing. We know who we're playing over there. Our respect is so high for them. So the early game tomorrow, man, this schedule's been interesting. I would have loved to have the 4 days off or the 2 days off. That would have helped us for sure. But super excited to get after it tomorrow.
One more. You guys won the rebounding battle by a lot in game 1. The last 2 games, the Thunder won that. What's kind of caused that shift from your perspective?
They're big and they jump really high. And we have to hit them, man. If you wait to hit these guys, it's over. And this is the playoffs. This isn't like, they're over our back. No, it's Chet's 7, whatever. I mean, these guys are crashing from everywhere. Dort is a NFL linebacker. So you have to physically engage these guys early. And then the second layer to that I brought up about Jamal is, okay, so the first part you do. You engage them, you hit them. The ball is loose. Now you have to win the battle between the elbows. And that is such an underrated thing. I give Kevin Love credit. Way back in the day, coached him. He used to always tell our smalls, explore the elbows first before you get back defensively. That was an offensive rebounding term. Against this team, defensive rebounding, you got to explore the elbows. If you're not the guys in the paint, you got to win the next layer. The 50-50 ball that's tipped out is going to win or lose these games, especially the way they crash. So, yeah, fundamental basketball always comes back in the playoff series. It's the NBA is all stylish during the regular season, but all the stuff you learned young, it all comes back in these games when everybody's this even. So, yeah, huge part of the series. Thanks, guys.